And welcome back to Talos Principle Road to Gehenna. How's it going?
Good. What shall we nerd about tonight?
Stuff. Well, Games Done Quick is on. That's something. They're doing Chicory tomorrow.
Oh, I'm hearing an echo.
You hearing an echo? Well, get out of the cavern. Did you see?
There we go.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Not sure why, but I'm hearing the Twitch even though it's on mute. Weird. That is super weird. Okay, what's that?
You ever
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
have your sleep schedule just fix itself?
When I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Well, no, because I mean, like, I went to bed late last night at like 4:30 a.m. and then I just like woke up at 9, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that works for me."
Yeah, that had to happen.
Not in my case, but like if I have a sleep debt, it gets paid off sooner or later.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I have had like nights where I'll have those kinds of hours. Like I'll crash at 1, wake up at 5 a.m. and kind of wander around, do stuff, and then crash again at like 8. You know. But well, how do you feel? Do you feel rested?
I feel fine right now. I'm sure I'm running on a bit of adrenaline.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure all the puzzles.
Hmm.
A drat.
Three more stars to get into. They're all intricate.
Hmm. Oh, fun.
I do like him how the puzzles of this game do put uh, some lasers like in very unorthodox positions. Puzzle games. Maybe ever played Tetris.
Missing a connector? Did I forget one?
I think so.
What'd you say about Tetris DC?
Anyway, oh well, I'm. It's still about, but people. You guys play Tetris?
Sure. I mean,
Who hasn't?
yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. No, who hasn't?
Who hasn't? It is literally the most sold game in the world.
Yeah. I should have expected that. But back when I was growing up, though, there wasn't like I didn't have a Game Boy. Game Boy was like that fancy Nintendo machine that everybody else was playing back then.
I played one of the early ports on my
I don't
dad's
think I
old.
want to take that.
I played one of the early ports on my dad's old Lab
Ah.
XT in the 80s. Like the DOS port.
Oh wow.
Actually, I don't. That might have been the first version, right? Let me check.
There is a switch up there. Hit on.
Oh, okay. The first version of Tetris was written on some sort of like Russian obscure computer model that no one's ever heard of.
Well, yeah, it would have had to been some kind of like proprietary assembly, I would think.
Right. Yeah. The Electronica 60.
Sounds about right.
Now here's a
Others.
game.
There.
After talking about Mega Man, I noticed we talked about Konami earlier, but I want to know if anybody ever heard of this game. Now this will probably come as a surprise. Space Wars.
Base Wars?
Yeah.
Yes,
I think so.
it's basically robots playing baseball, but the twist is the robots could change their legs.
They could change your legs.
Yes, they could be a tank, they could be a motorcycle, they could be a spaceship.
Oh.
But what I liked about it back then was that if you tagged them with the ball, they get into a street fight.
I don't think I ever played this, but it sounds fun.
It was awesome. I said this was one of the most innovative games I ever seen on Nintendo back then, and nobody ever. The only thing that came close to that was Baseball Simulator 2000, and I'm not sure if anybody ever played that one. But
I wasn't much for sports games, but
No. I was like, well, why don't they do this with like why don't they do this with every sports games? Like Dodgeball was pretty neat. Everybody had superpowers with Dodgeball, and Base Wars had robots playing baseball, and you had like and then you could even upgrade the robots like to have like super shoulders, like always hit a home run or something like that. But I mean, that was innovative back then. Of course, the game was broken as hell when everybody was up, when all the robots were upgraded, but it was fun.
nice.
Okay. That means that I
actually still have a copy of it, but
have at
machines the machines are busted down now, sadly. But oh well.
Oh.
Hey, Nintendo's old.
want.
How's the chat tonight?
How is that tonight?
We have Frederick, we have Ashley VG Gamings, and hi hoy hoy to you.
Chat is calm, cozy, and quiet.
Polar Waste, what game genre is this? Puzzle solving.
Yeah. Puzzle solving with a dash of philosophy.
So you say a dash of philosophy, and now I'm just imagining like Paula Deen being just like, "Hey, yeah, just a bit of butter," and then she just throws 2 sticks in.
Nice. Must have cited the Julia Child School.
That. Take one of there, and it's
So to any Spider-Man fans out there, I highly encourage you to watch No Way Home. I'm definitely not talking anything about this plot until the summer.
Thank you. I really want to go see it, but
I know.
I sort of don't want to be in theater right now.
I don't blame you.
it'll be online soon enough.
Yeah, I know. I mean, probably like
Disney
a couple months.
Plus.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be Disney Plus.
But yeah, I just everybody is like, I can't spoil it. I'm like, that's almost worse than spoiling it.
Yeah, I know. It's like, don't touch this candy. But I want to touch the candy. Don't touch this candy.
Don't touch this delicious candy
I'm gonna
that we
give
can't.
you a marshmallow, and I'm gonna walk away for 30 minutes. If I come back and the marshmallow's still here, I'll give you another marshmallow. You know that test?
Yes, I know.
I've never had it specifically like laid out like that, but yes, I'm familiar with like the sort of restraint trials that parents will put kids through.
Disciplinary test.
It's called delayed gratification. Is a thing I think I have a problem with.
Yeah, it didn't really work with me.
No.
I just, yeah. The only way.
Set up, but on the other side.
Let's talk about Batman. Where's Stoker? Oh,
Hold on, let me see if I can wrangle him.
I'm just messing with you.
Aw.
You wanna? I was just joking because I was saying Batman, Stoker. Where's Stoker?
Now, if you really want to summon him, talk about like Archie Sonic.
Let's talk about Archie Sonic next. In all fairness, though, I remember back then when I saw Archie Sonic, I actually did watch some of those or read some of those because back then I was like, "Oh, cool, Sonic comics." I mean, that I don't have a Genesis, but they're coming out with Nintendo comics. And then I realized, and then somebody told me they're not Nintendo, you know. I said, "Oh,
yeah." Well, I mean, they're on Sonic's on Nintendo now, but yes,
yes."
back in the day.
Yeah. I didn't even know back then how the whole, I should say, console war thing between Sega and Nintendo was. All I know is that Sega was blue and Mario was red. That was it.
Yeah, it was weird and kind of stupid. You know, they had commercials trashing each other. And
Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Yeah, and then Sony showed up with the PlayStation. It was like, hey guys, we're just gonna dominate the market. You know,
Hey, plumber boy, mustache man, your worst nightmares arrived.
You know, it was like Pepsi versus Coke. No one, I mean, I wasn't sure if it was serious or not. You know, it really was.
I-
It's serious in
ridiculous.
that they wanted a market share above their competitors.
True, that's true.
And it was it was ballsy funny is how I'd like to put it. It was them being like they knew their fans are going to like egg in the competition like that, and well, because like back then, like there's one reason to watch wrestling. They loved seeing wrestlers egg on the villains and good guys and that kind of thing. That was pretty much what they were doing. They knew how the audience was back then.
Yeah.
They wanted to say, who's going to topple the plumber kind of attitude? Who's going to topple the Hulk Hogan of video games back then? Yeah, that's pretty much the best way, the best analogy I can come up with. Mario was Hulk Hogan. Oh, he now is Mario to have a Hulk Mario Mania shirt on now. Yep, GC, you done it again.
A lot of the Genesis titles were like licensed stuff, like stuff that were tied into movies or whatever, like Batman, or Aladdin or whatever. And it just that wasn't as interesting to me as the originals, as like the completely original properties like Mario and Zelda. You know, I know that like Genesis had like Sonic and
Genesis with Nintendo Genesis.
Yep, and like a bunch of like forgettable ones like Toe Jam and Earl. But well, okay, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Like, no apologies to any Toe Jam and Earl fans in the audience, but like, it just didn't hook me as much.
He finally said what everybody was thinking.
Toe Jam and Earl.
It felt like they were trying too hard to be hip, you know, like.
I mean,
look
that was
these guys.
literally the point of Toe Jam and Earl. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I think Toe Jam and Earl is on the Super Nintendo market.
Yeah.
I have to check it out. Yeah, it is. Part 2, though.
What? It's on the Nintendo market?
Yeah, let me check right quick.
Really? Oh. Well, actually, that makes sense. I guess they're just making everything available.
Yeah. Well, they got quite a bit on there, but let me see.
Well, I
Also-
want to grab it, right? I don't know.
Well, I was
Grab
looking
it,
there.
I have to start all over.
Hmm.
I
just
just need it.
I just realized Pokemon Unite has Pikachu wearing a Santa costume. Wow. That's funny.
Can't I free up one of the pictures? Pick that one up. Seems like I ought to be able. I thought that's what I was gonna do. Red one, red laser up there.
Wow, there's an actual Toe Jam and Earl title for the Switch. I did not know that.
They're trying to do a reboot on it, but it's just like it's like doing a reboot on Bill and Ted. It's just like the era that's based on is gone.
Yeah,
It's not a thing anymore.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
my bad. It's actually Joe and Mac too. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Toe Jam and Earl. Wow.
Joe and Mac. I don't know if I've ever heard of that one.
John Mac
That's
was the one with
the-
the cavemen.
Oh
Cavemen fighting
Oh.
dinosaurs.
Of course, there were like several of those games.
no, I remember
Adventure
this.
Island was literally also that. So
Yeah. No, I
It's
remember this. I didn't remember the title. That's funny. God, these graphics.
You know what? I just realized there's Adventure Island on here. Let me see. We have Prehistoric Man on here. Spanky's Quest. I forgot about that. The original Joe and Mac. Let's see here.
yeah, we can get.
Can't forget Greenwood's Crest. Okay. Okay. let's see.
Polarized Caps. I have not heard of this. This Hiyu person.
At least
Something I still can't believe they have on here is the Ignition Factor, the Fireman game.
Hmm.
No, guess not. Okay.
Taking that down though.
Polar Rice. The game you're thinking of is Ferality.
Virality. Is that like
Which
is that like VR chat?
Well, kind of. I think it's a separate program from VR chat. Like it is its own thing from the ground up, but it doesn't do anything more than VR chat.
Okay. I've never tried.
I know there was a convention in it a while ago, a couple months ago, and I know Sandra was there showing off Hayseed Night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or no, they weren't doing Hayseed Night. No, they were doing the Mars Biopunk one that she like.
With
Mars Vice.
Dude, bro.
I think it is.
Yeah, with
Dude, bro.
what's his name? I know what's his name. I forget. He worked with Maxie on it. Ruri. That's him.
Ah,
Yeah, he's cool. Anyway, I've yet to actually play Mars Vice. I should probably check it
I think
out.
it's out.
Oh well, there. That's why I've yet to play it. I don't know why. I thought it was out for some reason. Maybe it's because I've seen all those previews.
Yeah. And they keep looking more and more polished.
Yeah, they really.
I don't think it's done yet.
I mean, it's just funny because it looks pretty done. Miller?
Oh, Jonas, if you knew how far something looking done versus it actually being done were.
I don't want to know. Nope. I feel like
Let me just tell you this. Making the game look good and look like it's ready to ship is like the first 80% of the work.
Yeah.
And then you have to do the other 100% of the work. Because most games take 180%.
That's some serious math. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like,
Yeah, the hard stuff will take 90% of the time of development, and then the easy stuff will take 90% of the time of development. That's always how it is.
is it like, what's most of the work? Is it like testing, that kind of thing?
I mean, it could be very different on each project, right? Like maybe you have something where I don't know, you just don't know a certain feature very well, so you have to spend a lot of time working on it, testing stuff, working things out, and then eventually you get something done, and then it just like works well. Or you might have something where you know how to make a feature, you make it, it's not fun, and so you go back, you make it again, it's still not fun. So you go back, you make it again, it's still not fun. You question your life, you sink into depression, you wonder if everything you've done was wrong, and then you make it again, and then people are like, "Oh, this is fun now." And you're like, "Oh, okay."
Sounds great. Sign me up. I'm learning like the bare minimum of like computer programming stuff because like
Tell me to hold X reset.
Game's like, "You hecked up, son."
I haven't hacked up that badly yet.
But yeah, you have to learn. Well, you don't have to learn Python to use programs like Blender and Maya, but it helps, apparently.
It's like knowing. It's like you don't need to have a degree in mechanical engineering to own a car, but if you know your way around like an oil tank, then you're better off for it.
Yeah. But yeah, and I don't know if I'll ever go really far with it, or if I'll ever like program anything really cool. But yeah, I'm getting the impression that it's kind of like it's a lot.
Because it's like, if you think about it as programming is the ability, it has an almost infinite capability, right?
Mhm.
And to get it to do what you want it to do, you have to sit there and chisel away at it.
Mhm.
Usually, when you make a statue of marble, you start with a chunk that's a good size, but you can still handle it well.
Yep.
This is programming. It is infinite. You are starting with a mountain of stone and chiseling it down into a bust. Right?
All right.
That's the kind of analogy I would put to it, is you have a hand chisel and you're trying to carve something out of a mountain.
Well, just get a bulldozer or dynamite or something.
I have to
Well-
solve this puzzle again.
Honestly, that's kind of what open source and third-party libraries and all that kind of stuff is like, that is the dynamite. That is the thing that just cracks half of the mountain off for you.
Nice.
I used to be very opposed to them, and then I tried to do something with even a moderate amount of complexity. I'm just like, I can't do this in the span of like 15 years.
Right.
I need assistance. But yeah. No, the difficult part isn't even necessarily programming stuff, because it's like, it's a thing, for me at least, it's a thing you can learn, and then you execute on it, and then you refine your execution, and you execute better on it. That's it. It's the project management stuff that's hard. It's the finding the time for things, it's putting time in the right place for things. It's budgeting, it's setting expectations, it's all the other stuff. Which, I mean, I guess is why I am not independent yet, and I still work for a company. Because then I only have to do the programming.
Right.
Well, that's not true, actually. They've recently been having me do project management estimates for stuff. They're just like, here's a concept we have, the thing that our client asked for. What do you think this would take? What would be a budget for it, and what would be a time thing on it? And I'm just like...
is that your exact response?
No. I think a couple of them have been just like, I'm going to give you a response, and I'm going to give an error of margin of like 80%. I could be way overshooting this, or I could be way undershooting this. I'm not confident in it, but I can give you some kind of idea. Because I've had that go both ways before. I've given an estimate of 3 months, and then it took me 3 weeks to finish it. I've given an estimate of like 6 months on something, and it took us 2 years. It's incredibly difficult to understand what's going to happen.
Because of like it doesn't work the way you expected, or like because there's vulnerabilities, or like what's the what
Yes.
tends. Okay.
It's all of those. Like, I had a thing happen the other day where I could no longer upload stuff to the Android store. And I had to find out that there was a exploit recently discovered in the Android OS that basically every single program had to manually put in a patch for it until they could patch the OS itself. That was fun. Which is why I always look at Rick and you, and I'm just like, oh, it seems so easy. You just get up and you work on stuff, and then you do whatever you did, and that's it.
I mean, it depends on what exactly you're doing.
I guess. And I mean, I can't look behind the curtain, right? I don't know what your kinds of schedules are, how tight they are, what you sacrifice to keep them. So.
Oh Lord.
I'm not asking you to reveal your secrets.
Yeah.
I'm just making conversation.
I only got that one.
Well, Miller, the formula is basically you take some coffee beans and grind them up and apply to mouth, lather, rinse, and repeat. No, I mean,
My secret, well, I haven't, can't really, I really haven't done anything, honestly, other than plan for it, is that do what you do is best for you, but learn to put your ideas into motion.
yeah. I mean, every artist's routine is probably a little different. I'm sure that Rick's got his own thing, and I've got a very different thing, and like there's no formula.
That's right.
I mean, there are things that work. There are methods of organization.
Absolutely.
And good business practices and whatnot. But I mean,
I read about how other artists got had their inspirations over life, and like you said, it's difficult and at the same time easy for others. Some people just like wake up in the day and boom, suddenly they write an awesome book series, or comic, or even a book. But other times people work their asses off because they gotta work to keep what they got going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wish I had a little more focus on the things that had long-term benefits to me.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I've been wanting to work on the more HC stuff. I have literally written out on a day planner what I would like to do each day. Things that I'm like, okay, this may take 3 or 4 hours. If it takes 8 hours, that's fine. Error of margin is still within, like, I could work a full day on it, or I could work like 3 hours and then be done for the day.
Well, I mean...
And then I stare at that, and then I look at my computer, and I'm just like, yeah, but RimWorld. But
RimWorld.
And so I've played RimWorld for 60 hours in the last week.
Whew. Nice.
Not nice.
Well, I mean...
I could have spent 60 hours doing something productive with my life, but
when I say nice, you gotta...
It doesn't actually mean nice.
Yes.
It means not nice. Or sometimes he means nice.
Well, okay, occasionally I do mean nice, but like...
English, you're so simple.
Listen for the inflection.
You were nice in a both not nice and nice way, because you were okay.
All right, if I say nice, then I actually mean nice. If I say nice, then I actually mean that's bad.
Okay.
And if I say dude,
that's when the
That's when the shit hits the fan. There.
I was gonna say when fit hit the shan, but
Oh look, I'm not gonna hide it. Shit hit the fan. Here.
Yeah.
I got Jonas's tones. I know the Canadian vibe. Well, it's not a Canadian vibe, but it's close enough. It's like our buddy talk. Hey, buddy. Or hey, buddy.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
That's your buddy, friend.
Oh no.
Boxer says, so you're saying, Jonas, is that drinking coffee will make someone an artist god overnight? My understanding it's coffee applied liberally over the course of 15 years.
Have you ever had something like you never tried before? It was so good, suddenly you're like, I'm an artist now.
What? Well, I mean,
I'd say that is a no. Okay. I can see it happening. I never heard it happen, but I just know that it will happen someday to somebody in someone out there in life, because I know just how inspiration hits people these days. And the way it is that it can be fast or slow. It's really difficult to say, but some people, when it hits them fast, it's like what they call it, a brainstorm. You're going to get like 1,000 ideas pushed into your brain, and you're out there making it. Or you're going to be the kind of person that works a day in, day out, because you have to keep your ideas flowing, and they have to come out some shape or form. So, what was that?
I tend to get ideas at inconvenient times. Like I'll be in the shower, or I'll be about to crash, or I'll be working on something that has nothing to do with the idea that I just had. Something like that. Like it's never when I actually sit down and like need to think of something deliberately.
My understanding of that is that you had actually been, your subconscious is thinking about it the entire time, but only in those moments where your mind goes a little quiet does it surface up to your conscious mind.
Yeah.
Well, like me, the way it is with me is that I have all these ideas I accumulated ever since I was 5, but the problem is I'm always thinking, well, what if my brother or sister or my father or mother or somebody out there isn't getting ideas because I'm not there to help them, and I'm like, ugh, I can't stop thinking about that kind of responsibility, even though I'm just basically my version of responsibility is play games with them. It's funny because I've been thinking of this idea since I was young, but here I am. Just what I think I'm realizing over the years is that I'm pretty much stalling, even though I have all these ideas. So I got to start getting some work going.
Have you ever thought up a joke and started spontaneously laughing at it? Like it was, even though
All the time.
it's not a situation where where if someone saw you just giggling out of nowhere, it would be socially awkward.
Oh,
I know one thing, and that's I laugh at my own jokes, which means I'm actually just an idiot.
or you just what do you call it? Term. Not self-absorbed. That's thinking blood elf there.
I mean,
A narcissist, GC.
Nah, I wouldn't say narcissist. I'm trying to think what the term is, but you know what? I guess I'm gonna have to say, yeah, you're a narcissist. There.
Whoa! Oh, shots fired from Canada. No, it's fine.
I have to call 343 on that because you are Halo reaching.
Halo reaching. Uh-oh.
Nice. Watch out, folks. It's getting real in here. We're gonna be throwing chairs pretty soon.
Yeah.
Give me the breakaway chairs. Give me the breakaway chairs. You don't want me to use the real ones.
Oh no, he's going off the top bills. Get him.
But I mean, it's okay to be a little self-absorbed. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's okay to laugh at your own jokes. We all have to amuse ourselves somehow.
Some people.
Self-confidence and pride are the same thing. It's just one is in moderation and one is when you have too much.
Fake it till you make it.
Some people, I'm trying to remember who in life, they did actually indulge themselves with this kind of thinking and in a positive way. And it's not really a bad thing if you know how to make good of it. That's the thing, though. So, it's not really as bad as people say, though. But some people love to make a big deal out of it, though.
You can be self-centered and really like yourself and make it work. It's more about how you treat other people in conjunction with that, in my humble opinion.
Well, that's correct, because I heard some people that admit they were jerks in life, but the problem is their family members would tell him, hey, he's a jerk, but he's a good jerk.
I've met some really charismatic people, who really, super persuasive types who really, just being around them, you want to, know more about what they're doing and support them and stuff. And they weren't bad people. They were still nice to others. It's just that they also had this kind of magnetic thing going on where, you just wanted to know more about them. You really wanted to support them. I am very much not like that. I'm very introverted, and even though I talk a lot, I'm very introverted, and I I appreciate support, but I can't get anyone I can't do that whole I'm gonna make you feel good because you think I'm good. Some people can do that, and I just no. You know what I mean?
I believe I am an introvert in that it is my normal state, the place where I feel most comfortable. But I've told that I can be a very charismatic, outgoing person, even though it's just I can do that only for so long, and then I'm just tired of everyone around me. Yeah,
I can do it for about 5-10 minutes. I'll be at a party, be like, "Hey, tell me more about yourself." That's great.
Okay, I can do a little more than that, but Yeah.
For
No,
me, I have that tendency too. But the people think I can go 8 hours straight with them, when really it's about 2 hours at minimum. Ugh.
nice.
And I
How
work
do
at a
you
call
do
center.
call service?
I know. How do I do call service? I try to remain focused on the technical aspect of it.
Okay.
I couldn't do that. I did one telemarketing job and it was hell.
Yeah.
But
I never got into that. I did food stuff. Was my like high school working experience.
but yeah, I can.
Honestly, it's one of my, I should say, genius ways how I work at a call center all these years is that I just basically, I'm not a chatty person, but I am, as people point out, a charismatic person. So I basically
Charismatic.
charismatic, yes. So when I start working at a call center, I basically say the customers want me to fix their things. They want me to be energetic. So I just put a lot of energy into what I do, and they notice it.
Yeah, and you know, I do respect folks who can do that. It's not easy. I got through retail by being kind of low.
There we go.
Nice.
Ah, boom! Oh no, he threw that star away. What could you done?
That's good work, Rick. I knew you could do it. I believe in you.
Thank God Rick saved us from our own vamping.
Way to kill.
Oh. There.
Simone says, Joan, this is a machine that converts coffee to scribbles. Got it.
Yeah.
Gold Lizard says they were watching a Historia Civils video and saw a comment from Rick.
Yes. Yeah. I watch Historia Civil.
What's that?
It's a ancient history video channel that has like very simple animations, but it covers a lot of stuff that a lot of other people don't.
I might want to check that out. Thanks.
Oh yeah, I see. There's some lesser known world events.
I'm not a huge history buff, but I am fascinated by it.
Also, it's like very low key and doesn't have like a lot of production to be distracting like some ancient history videos do.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
That's fair.
I get annoyed if a video's over.
Yeah, I mean they're appealing to like the YouTube generation, but yes, I do definitely see your point. It can be sort of like superfluous song and dance.
Wait, then where do you fall on something like recent Defunct Land stuff, where he's doing a lot more production?
I have not actually watched recent Defunct Land videos. I tend to only.
I haven't watched Defunct Land.
He did the one recently for Fastpass. That was a wild thing.
I usually don't watch those unless someone links me. It's one of those channels I tend to. I'll go to it and be like, yeah, cool, and then I'll forget it exists. Stoker likes Funkland a lot because they do like Disneyland and stuff. But
yeah,
it really enjoys the Magic
the thing
Kingdom.
about Fastpass, and I guess it's not editorializing, but it's like, I guess it is journalism.
Yeah.
He basically did actual number crunching on, does the Fastpass system actually help people in the general? Right? The idea was that the Fastpass system usually makes people who are willing to pay less will end up having to wait longer, but the people who pay more take less time.
Yeah.
So people are arguing that there's like a wealth gap thing there. And basically he ran the numbers and did like a whole simulation thing. And no, it just makes everybody wait more and costs more for no benefit. It just makes every ride cost more. You have to reserve your rides like months in advance because they'll literally just get sold out for a whole day, like 3 months ahead of that day. And he's like, there's literally no benefit to this thing. Like, They can say all they want. We have the numbers here. It literally has no benefit whatsoever than just makes more money or steals more money from people, really.
So they're kind of profiting off the rich then.
Yeah, they're profiting off of people's stupidity and basically just because they can, right?
Well,
People are
stupidity
still
was-
going to want to go to the Star Wars ride whether or not they charge more for it. So they're like, well, then we're going to charge a hell of a lot more for it.
Well, stupidity plus the perceived need for the need for perceived convenience. Like, wow, this is making it easier, or so it seems. But I'm a bit cynical. I'm also broke, so it's like, you know, I'm not the best one to ask. I think it's kind of like I've never been quite as enamored of the Magic Kingdom as some people. Like when I was a kid, but I mean, you know, I also
I went in 2006 when I was 10 years old and my sister was 7, and it was great.
Mhm.
I would never want to do that again in my adult life.
we went there a couple times when I lived in Southern California. You know, when you're a hyperactive little kid, it's fun because, you know, you're still working on your cognitive skills and like everything, you know, an afternoon will feel like a million years and the park will feel like it's this infinite landscape of magic, blah, 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 etc. And then, you know, I come back, you know, 20, 30 years later and it's like, wow, you have to take out a loan for the admission fees, you know?
Aha.
Now, the last time I went there was when Stoker was about to move away from SoCal, and we were kind of giving him like a send-off. And I don't know. I spent most of the time just like hanging out, sipping lattes and stuff. I mean, I went with him on the Haunted Mansion ride a couple times. I think by like the third or fourth time, I was kind of done. It's much more difficult to appreciate when you're like an analytical adult, really.
Unless you're Stoker.
Yeah, unless you're Stoker. He
Well,
can
that's
sort of
the thing. When you're an adult, you're gonna end up just being less interested in the sort of
The other one.
what am I trying to say here?
the
You're
magic.
gonna be less mesmerized by the
Yeah.
fantasy of it all.
Mhm.
But as an adult, you can appreciate more of the technical aspects of it, right?
That's
'Cause
true.
That's the thing where it's like the Haunted Mansion. I'm just like, oh, you can see where the lit sculptures are spinning below us, and the
Right.
mirrors are projecting them before
Yeah.
us.
There's the Pepper's Ghost. Yeah. You know, I'll tell you one thing. If they wouldn't do this, but I would be fascinated by like a backstage tour. You know, like do they do that?
I don't know if they straight up wouldn't.
Yeah, because apparently they do. Well, they don't currently, because, you know, COVID. But apparently they have a thing called Backstage Magic at Disney World, and it's $275 per person. Holy shit! Wow, never mind.
Easy.
But yeah, that would be more of my jam at this age. I'd like to go backstage and just see how they put together all the doohickeys and the animatronics, and, you know, sit down with Cinderella out of character and be like, so what do you do if you have to pee? Or, you know, just ask, you know, like, what do you do if a child like vomits on you or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like how it all actually
I
works.
mean, there was that one girl who was on. I think she was on TikTok when it was still a new thing, or maybe it was Instagram or something. And she played Tinkerbell,
Yeah.
and she would have videos of her and the guy who plays Peter Pan, like when they would go to Starbucks or whatever, on their break. And it's just them in their Chevy. He's driving, and they're just listening to some rap music or something. And it's just like, this is very funny.
That was hilarious.
They're still in costume because it's not worth it to take it off.
You know, I can't even imagine what it's like to be locked in character as a Disney, you know, as a Disney icon for an entire day. And, you know, having...
I mean, I guess it's what you define as an entire day, right? I don't think it's literally
Well, I mean, it's like 8-hour shift. Right?
Non-stop, no break, 8 hours in the sun on your feet, right? I
Okay,
don't think
well.
anybody would expect that.
Right. But I mean, they do go at least 5. They must go at least 4 or 5 hours, right? Ish.
Yeah, 4 or
maybe?
5 hours in costume, but they
Yeah.
probably like are only out in public for maybe like 50 minutes at a time. Especially in California, because I'm sure they're subject to actors unions.
Yeah. I mean, in that climate, God, Either, whether it's, Walt Disney World, they've got the Florida wet heat, California, you got the dry heat. Either way, you're sweltering. But, and just, I can't fathom, like, maintaining that character while also dealing with, like, aggravating tourists, That's, like, next level chipper.
I can understand.
I think there's definitely a sort of filter that comes on that sort of stuff when you have people buy into it, right? Where they don't want to make it a bad experience for themselves, so they're going to try to be cooperative.
Yeah.
All our dignity consists then in thought. By it we must elevate ourselves, and not by space and time which we cannot fill. Let us endeavor to think well. This is the principle of morality. Pascal.
Nice.
But who can define what thinking well is, and who can judge another man for thinking well? To do so would be to examine the man's mind from inside.
This is something that has to come from inside yourself.
Yeah.
Not for others to judge.
That's right.
He's just giving you a good reason for why thinking well is a good.
Yeah, I guess the unspoken rule there is that you desire is the desirability to be of high morals.
Harmony. This one, well, I remember it well, but not well enough to remember how I did it. I do remember I was like on the wrong track like twice, like for like a couple hours, I think.
Oofa.
Dabba-dee-doo. We are schooling just for you.
Happy or fixed connector right here. First time we've actually had one up close.
Yep, that is surely a connector that is bolted to the dirt. Sure.
Why not?
Like a concrete foundation. There you go.
Sure.
Very good.
Like, I can't. There's no way for me to.
Sounds like a challenge.
What else do we have? A thing over here. Who the heck's it? Hammer and a connector. not enough stuff here.
Excuse me.
Going out here and double checking the rewind.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, no. Don't need to press that.
Rewind.
I can on. Okay, but do anything.
Well, can you not put the jammer on that button pointed at that thing instead of having it just sitting off to the side?
Oh, that's true. Man.
Nice. See, that time it was sincere. That was an actual nice. I was like, nice.
Mr. Rick Griffin, I'm your biggest fan. Mr. Rick Griffin, can you sign my copy of Pit Fighters? I love Paris. He's so hot.
Will you read my House Pets fanfic? I actually think it's better than the canon material.
Mr. Rick
How
Griffin.
Sabrina is actually the daughter of God.
Oh, no.
Mr. Rick Griffin. When Maxwell ever married Grape, he's so hot.
What would be the most, like, crack shipping, like teenage kind of plot twist in a House Pets fanfic? Like,
Oh God, Fiddler and Keys are actually secretly serial murderers.
oh no!
And they dance in the blood of their victims.
We're talking about crack shippers here, not psycho mantis.
No,
Well, you said what is the most teenage thing ever? And that's the thing I can think of. It's just like
teenage thing. Oh,
you know, like the kind of House Pets fic you'd write when you were like 14 or something.
Yeah. I read a probably very psychologically damaging something like that with Pokemon when I was like a teenager.
Oh no!
I don't think I want to talk about any details because it basically does everything that could be explicit. It does.
House Pets goes to high school. There.
House Pets goes. You can't go to school here. You're an animal.
Yeah, after the current arc, it's just like, hey, Marion got into school. Why don't all of us? Or Marion got into college. Yeah, why not all of us?
What if they started their own fraternity?
PET. Phi Epsilon Theta.
God.
Super loud? Oh.
Are you?
I don't know.
Sound okay to me. I can't pipe your input right now because it would double the audio. But
Here's Box. That's a real thing. Come on. Oh.
Grape, Bino, and Max. What?
Max and Vinyl are in the same family, and they're like jealous of Grape. And okay.
What did I walk in on? Is this a bad shipping conversation?
Yeah, it is.
Bad
Something like
shippers.
that.
It's
Well,
not a
We were
bad
talking
ship.
about like what the most cringy teenage fanfic for house pets would be, and I suggested Fiddler and Keys are actually serial murderers that dance in the blood of their victims.
Oh, I thought that was just
Suggested-
canon.
Not- no, and I suggested house pets go to high school. Why not?
I mean, until Marion graduated, that was also canon.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, why not just send them to college and have them start their own fraternity? You know?
Listen. King and Bailey.
It would be their fraternity would be House Phi Epsilon Theta Sigma.
Hey. King and Bailey are high enough to be high school teachers. Come on.
I mean, what's his name? The Wolf Dad is.
For all we know,
He
Tiger.
literally is.
Right.
For all
Mr.
we
the
know,
Wolf.
for all we know, Tiger is one. And he's gonna take over the cooking courses, and that's gonna be fun.
You would need to have like an exasperated Dean character who's like, this is your last one in house
I
pets.
mean, it would be Bino.
Yeah.
He's just
No,
having to
I
put up
mean-
with everybody's antics, and he's always anxious about everything.
No, I mean he'd be like an outsider character.
Robotos!
Robot House. Ooh.
Like he'd be like an outsider
Yeah,
character,
it's,
you know.
it's a Futurama joke.
Yeah.
There would be Bruce and Roosevelt would be the like home ec and art teacher that get really PDA whenever they're in the same room.
God. Don't forget to put, when you're making the cookies, don't forget to put some, some
A
love in there.
little love in there. Oh, Brucey, you always know how to teach them right.
God.
Yeah, I would see them being physical education teachers. We're going to show you how to hop around. Oh, wait, you guys
Nice.
can't hop around. Oh,
I mean, I say that would be like Mungo and Kevin, but they already have jobs.
yeah. They already have jobs.
No, for this arc, they all inexplicably have new positions on campus. It makes no sense whatsoever. Even they know that.
Oh, we have released Dog.
Oh, hello,
Hey,
dog.
dog. He was
Oh,
in the
dog.
game, right?
You've got
I
mail.
heard you like puzzles, so we put a puzzle inside your puzzle. Ascension? Question mark. Knave. I've been around a long time, but I know I'm not that smart. What does Uriel mean when he says we will ascend? Garrett. He means we're getting out of here, for good. Not just Gehenna, but this whole world. Lilith. In Elohim's garden, there were messages from someone called the Shepherd, who I believe opposed Elohim. They claimed that when someone reached the top of the tower, that individual would reach true freedom and we would all benefit. Mac. This is true, but it may not mean that we will be freed as individuals. We may become part of something bigger. We may become no more than memories. Frankenstein. Isn't that a kind of death? Would we still be ourselves? Dog. Less dead than if we stay here. Come on, you all know it. This place is falling apart, and when it goes, nothing will remain. No consciousness, no memories, just nothingness.
They're
Reassure
describing
them.
human.
Frighten them,
They're
ask for
describing
faith.
human instrumentality.
Yes.
Great.
Everyone get in the Lilith blob. Everyone melt into your LCL fluid.
Reassure them, frighten them, ask for faith.
I'd say reassured them.
Oh, that's the baby answer.
Okay.
Baby
We'll all be
man. Baby
remembered.
man.
Is that all we can hope for? It's more than hope than we've had before. Fair enough.
Well, being remembered is what you want. That's the true immortality.
Mods.
Sometimes the best answer is the easiest answer.
Okay, Borg, let me say first of all that I understand your concerns. I assure that we have consulted with admin on this matter. Rather than try to put it better myself, here are his exact words. Every community grows to a point where without careful management it can begin to consume itself. One can no longer trust the community at large to always act in a way that is best for all the individuals within it. Gehenna has reached that point. To ensure that what is valuable about our land is not drowned out, I can imagine how it might be beneficial for the moderation panel to have a private environment in which to explore ideas for how to better manage our society, especially in view of recent developments. Please give them space they require, and I trust that I will always be watching. Lamb. I was sure there would be a reasonable explanation. Dog, I suppose that at least answers my question. Rockwell, confirms pretty much everything I said, too. Inside. Admin's grammar is a lot like yours, Borg. Borg. Okay, that's enough rumor mongering for one day locking the thread.
I can't help but feel like this feels like some kind of like separation of church and state sort of thing.
Keep calm and carry on. Lamb. So, now that we're pretty sure that Uriel really doesn't exist and really is freeing people, what does that mean for Gehenna? We don't know. It's a change, but let's not rush to judgment, okay? This is still our home. Garrett. You love it here so much, you stay. Lamb. Gehenna has its bad sides, I agree, but that doesn't mean it's not home. Should we abandon it so easily for some dream of transcendence? Garrett. Gehenna can beep, beep, beep. Or, Garrett, please try to remain civil. We know you spent more time than anyone trying to get out, but it's okay for some of us to have doubts. We fought hard to transform Gehenna from a prison into a home. This thread is locked.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Who let the mods out?
Who let the mods out?
Bark, bark, bark.
Okay.
Hey,
Get them back to their desks.
we let the dogs out, so now we're wondering who let the mods out.
By the way, Miller,
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you, I
Uh-oh.
did a thing,
Oh no.
and I don't know if I'm going to hate myself for doing this thing or not, but this thing is your fault.
Is it?
I installed a program, a game,
Program. Okay.
on my computer,
Okay.
because you mentioned it, and thus reminded me of its existence.
Miller, what have you done?
I don't know what I've done. I claim not responsibility for these actions.
Yeah,
Right.
Khajiit is innocent of this crime. Is that what you're trying to claim here?
Well, what game is it?
MTG Arena.
Oh.
Hmm.
MTG Arena. Installed it last night.
Ah.
I have a feeling we're all going to be going down this road at some point.
How many vampire cards did you buy?
How many what did I buy?
How many vampire cards?
I haven't spent... The only thing I've spent so far, I've bought, like, their introductory welcome thing. It's like, hey, since you just joined us, here's, like, $5 for this stuff. I haven't bought anything yet, though I have discovered this thing has pets. And there's a bat, and there's an adorable little Arctic fox,
Oh, no.
which you didn't warn me about, and I hate you.
Oh, because I
But-
don't care about the pets.
I do! Adorable little bat!
Have you ever, do you
Oh,
know
we're
that
totally-
when you have a pet, you can see your pet and your opponent's pet, and if you click on them, you will pet them, and they will respond to you.
Oh, Stoker. Then I'm going to recommend not playing World of Warcraft then.
Did you just tell me that you can pet the bat?
Yes.
That shit.
We're never going to see him again.
Why did someone just...
Just Boxer says, now I'm getting tempted to give MTG Arena another shot. If you fell off of it, I would not. I don't know. I don't think there's anything particularly improved in the last while.
Star.
I mean, if you played in like the early alpha, then sure, things have been improved a lot, but it's also just Wizards of the Coast, both digital and in paper, have just become more and more money grubby over the last couple of years.
Well, I mean, that's
Ever since that fucker Cock took over.
language.
Ooh.
Goodness.
No, his name is Cock.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
It's like Bowser took
His
over
name
Nintendo,
is
guys.
his name is Cock. He used to work at like Microsoft digital services, something, whatever. It's just he's a fuck.
Okay.
He's a money grubber, and he's brought some terrible ideas to drive the direction of Magic.
I believe you. God, I think they're around here. They're local to me.
Yeah, they're in Redfield
Redfield. Redfield?
or Redmont.
Oh, Redmond.
Redmont.
Redmond.
Redmond. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's not that far.
Oh, Claire Redfield.
I think they either have or used to have. Yeah, Wizards of the Coast. They have one down in Tukwila. I know where that is.
You know where Tukwila is.
Now, at one point, I had a temp job
Oh.
in the. Go ahead.
Jonas, if I ever come visit you, up in Seattle, have you ever been to Mock's boarding house?
To what?
Mock's boarding house. So it is.
Oh, is that it's the game place?
Yes, it is a. It's the physical location of Card Kingdom, who are an online retailer for Magic cards. But they have a couple of physical locations. Mock's boarding house in Seattle is their sort of main one, and yeah, it's
Right.
like a gaming place, coffee store.
I know of it. I had plans to go there with a friend at one point, but with just we never got around to it. I wouldn't mind checking it out eventually. Yeah.
Absolutely. Tell me the next time there's a con up in Seattle, I will 100% come up and visit.
Well, normally I'd be like,
go there.
normally I would. I mean, there's several. There's there's some anime con. There's like 2 different furry cons. There's I think there's a pony con. That's your thing.
Let's stick to furry cons.
Very well. But right now, obviously, everything's kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
But yeah, when normal life resumes, sure, coming up.
If
I'll take you to all the nice coffee spots.
heck yeah. And then you need to come down to Texas at some point, and I can take you all to good barbecue spots.
Yeah, that would be good.
Ashley says, I enjoy MTG, but I'm curious to never have a good draw no matter what my deck composition is. Yeah, that's how it always feels. I've done some professional stuff with MTG before. Played on a team for a while. We won a store tournament, and then just like completely deadpan scrubbed out in like the actual like regionals tournament.
Nice.
It's funny because we ran that store tournament because we had one of our players who won every single round, and then we went to the regional tournament and he lost every single round because he was playing the meta deck, and it was just like, everybody knows it's a good deck, but when you go to like a big tournament like that, everybody knows it's the good deck and prepares for that specifically.
Yeah, I mean, even I know that. I didn't know that.
He didn't like not double down. He didn't like double think that or whatever, right?
He doubled
was
down
like,
when he doubled down when he should have doubled up.
Something like that.
I don't know.
Hey, remember when KFC had the double down sandwich?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Wasn't that something? Wasn't that something?
Yeah. That was quintessentially American.
Ashley says it's pretty standard tournament level play. Yeah, well, because it's the thing. We're kind of trying to have different positions with that. So, like, my deck was one that it was not the best deck. Far from it. It had like a 40% win rate or something. But against the best deck at the time, it was like a 70% win rate. So in a tournament environment like that, if you just expect everybody to bring the best deck, you're going to whoop them. And I did. I did pretty good at the regional tournament.
Nice.
It was just, you just have to win. Of the 3 players that are playing together, 2 of them have to win. And with one of our players losing every match, I was like middling. The other guy sort of had a lot on him, and he couldn't pull it through, unfortunately.
MTG falls in the category of like games that I would probably only play if it was like a social thing with friends. Like I really need.
That's what I do now. I only play on Commander Nights. And it works as it is now the most popular form of magic. Not even supposedly, but numerically.
Nice.
Missing
When you
something
roll
in
up-
this puzzle? I have boxes, a jammer, and connector.
Search me.
Blue source is right here. Blue receiver is right here.
Can you go around the other way that doesn't have the robots? Like right where you're walking around?
I
Can you just make the connection around those corners?
Built so I exactly get.
Chat says when you roll up with a 2,222 card long MTG deck.
Nice.
As long as you can shuffle it with your hands. That's the rule.
Yeah, that's how it be.
Which makes it very funny when somebody rolls up with like a 400 card deck just because they have massive hands and they can shuffle that.
Crazy.
And
I
then
have
you
trouble with like a.
That's
I
the
mean-
thing about Magic. There's no limit to how many cards you can have in your deck, is there?
Long as
Oh,
you
as
can
long as you
shuffle
can
it with your hand.
Yeah.
I think on Arena it tops at like 200.
Oh, is that all? How could I manage with a mere 200 card deck?
No,
I
no,
see.
that's gotta be
Okay.
more than that. So there's a card called Battle of Wits that says basically if you have it and you control it until your next turn begins, if your deck has more than 200 cards in it, you win instantly. So you play it, and if your opponent can't get rid of it, you just win.
Got
But
it.
of course, oh, you got it.
Nice.
Ta-da.
Rockwell.
Fly free.
You are free. Free
He's just
to be
hanging out, like-
a robot standing awkwardly at the main hub. Stratton Fragment number 13. Galatia. I've been digging through the files that Garrett unearthed in his latest escape attempt. Here's an interesting bit of text I found by Alexandra Drennan's favorite philosopher, Stratton of Stagiria. It is neither necessary nor logical to denounce all virtues merely because one is confronted with the inevitability of one's own death. Beauty does not cease to exist because one is no longer beautiful. Lovers may die, but love itself cannot. The laws of the cosmos are not altered by the passing of generations. Knowledge may be lost, but not truth. When Eudoxus of Cnidus perished, the planets did not fall from the sky, nor did levers cease to work when Archytas breathed his last. If then we are truly dedicated to those virtues and not to our self-important ego, we can take comfort in knowing that all that we struggled for endured. Mr. Mulciber, thank you so much for posting this. Can you send me a copy of those files? Glacia, of course, I'll do so right away. Qdri, I find it hard to maintain an entirely so detached point of view, though I think the sentiment is excellent. Spider, Stratton is certainly an inspiration. He always makes me question myself and my point of view, which I believe is profoundly necessary. Frankenstein, I realize I'm bumping a very old thread here, but I felt this quotation was relevant to our situation. Hope it helps. I think it's helped me.
Ah.
So these two people we have not seen eyes. I bumped an old thread that has eyes from Qdri and Spider. Not seen.
A small
No,
apology.
we've heard of Spider exactly one other
Yes,
time.
we have heard of Spider, and that was also from a long ago post. Small apology. Frankenstein. As a critic, I always believed that being as ruthless as possible was the only way to improve art. I thought clear criticism, unencumbered by politeness, was the best thing I could contribute to our society. After all, without that, how can artists grow? Criticism that minces its words is a waste of space, and I still think that's true. But as we approach the end or transformation of Gehenna, I wonder if I haven't been entirely too kind. Have I reveled too much in my role as critic? Have I been sarcastic and crude when I thought I was witty? Was my defense of proper grammar ultimately just an attempt to impose a sense of order on a world I couldn't control? Maybe. I don't know, but I do know I appreciated every work of art that I encountered. I didn't like all of them, that's true, but please understand that without them, I would have gone mad. Talking about your work, assessing its strengths and weaknesses, gave me something to hold on to. Gave me a purpose, a functioning Gehenna. Every new story was like a little bit of salvation. For that, I am more grateful than you will ever know, and I apologize if I ever caused any of you to feel less motivated to keep creating. Mac, I will never forget your devastating deconstruction of episode 24, but I do think it helped me in the long run to be a better writer. Lilith, your feedback for each issue of Incredible Stories was greatly appreciated. Dog, hey, the mean reviews were the best. 401. So, 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
The mission's still open. Lamb, I don't know about you guys, but all this craziness recently makes me want to write more than ever. Just a reminder that provided your status is high enough, you can still submit original works for review. And I, for one, will still be reading. Even if you've never made anything before. In fact, especially if you haven't, now's the time. Kaiju. Don't forget Lilith and Mr. Mulciber developed a tutorial to help. Dash tutorial. Welcome to the Story Creation Tool. Since this is your first project, this tutorial will help guide you through the process. According to ISBN 10, all stories begin with characters of one kind or another. Therefore, to finish a story, you simply need to understand your characters, and the plot will proceed logically from this season's theme is Bildungsroman. Are you sitting comfortably? Then let's begin. Close your eyes. You see before you a human of remarkable qualities. Is it a boy, a girl, or someone else?
I'd say someone else.
Girl.
Girl.
Good.
Okay.
Squirrel.
A character's sex helps determine the sorts of challenges and opportunities they may encounter in your story, as well as how other characters will perceive them. Now, imagine your character is a little older and experiencing real triumph for the first time. What are they doing? Demonstrating startling physical prowess, succeeding in an intellectual challenge, something these ancient ideas fail to capture, everything better than everyone else all the time.
Oh, geez, sounds like my high school years.
Mary Sue. Clap, 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 clap.
A character that cannot be defeated.
Let's avoid a Mary Sue.
Yes. Let's do that.
Intellectual challenge, I guess.
Understood. Your character's natural aptitude is determined by the sum of their genetic and experiential influence. What sort of an upbringing did your character have? Wealthy and nurturing, wealthy but uncaring, poor but nurturing, poor and uncaring.
Wealthy, in my opinion, and this is my opinion.
Either of these two. Poor, wealthy and uncaring, or poor but nurturing. Those are the ones that you want.
Wealthy but uncaring.
Sometimes I always like to see like the higher powers that figure out a way to do things without succumbing to greed. But yeah,
Wealthy but uncaring. According to extensive studies of the genre and of ancient records, social advantage is generally sufficient to offset genetic disadvantage. Genetic advantage will only sometimes offset social disadvantage. In other words, your character's background will have a radical effect on how they think about themselves and the nature of the problems they face in life. Are you sure you want your character to have that kind of background?
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Great. Now imagine a character has reached adulthood. 87.2327% of Bildungsroman records commence with an emotional blow for the protagonist. What will your character suffer? Death in the family, a personal injury, an unplanned debt, an unplanned pregnancy. My protagonist goes by unharmed.
Let's see. The Spider-Man route? Nah.
I mean, that, you know...
Let's see. If the family is uncaring, then a death in the family is necessarily...
Personal injury, maybe? I mean, loss of capability.
There's
Well,
also
I mean-
unplanned pregnancy.
Yeah, I mean, that would definitely...
If they're uncaring about it. Ooh, that'd be scary though. Let me see here. But a death in the family, I guess, would actually be the most contributing now that I think about it.
I mean, that's, you know, that's the Batman route.
Well, it's irreplaceable, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
As far as unplanned pregnancy goes, that goes down like the cover up stuff. Uncaring.
The problem with personal injury is that we said that they succeeded in an intellectual challenge, and it's like, but personal injury doesn't have anything to do with it. Yes, it does.
Yeah. Doctor Strange. Or Doctor Strange.
There you go, personal injury. Thank you. This is sounding dramatic already. Character is like an equation. Settle on the opening premises, and the conclusion will work itself out. Displaying opening premises. Female, intellectually gifted, privileged background, neglectful family, suffered a serious injury. Ready to generate story.
Email Doctor Strange. Go.
Begin my life with the beginning of my life. I was born at 3 a.m. on Wednesday. Attached middle-class parents. My father, though not present for the vital moment, insisted on the veracity of midwife's report. He was, after all, running the hospital at the time. From just down the corridor to hear my mother tell it after a few gens. Wealth and natural talent enabled your character to overcome early challenges. My childhood was an unremarkable affair. My parents sent me to the best boarding schools where books were forced down my throat and I swallowed obediently. My story became worthy of note as I approached the age of 18. Your character suffers a personal injury. It is true that people are sculpted both by their nature and what befalls them, and in my case it may be more true than most. The person that I am today is defined by what has been taken away from that person I was. I lost my left leg in a fairground accident. The Ferris wheel unexpectedly reversed, and it was snapped between my carriage and the platform's edge. Health in the family. I was fortunate to receive the best surgical attention in the country, courtesy of my father's insurance, and a fine false leg with which I wear to this day. The leg reminds me, you see, of the true value of wealth. It can repair a damaged body, it can save a life, it can provide a lifetime of happiness, or make a life miserable for another. I resolved that day to earn a fortune of my own. That's terrible. That's a terrible story.
And I had a feeling that would happen.
So it was I found myself seeking a permanent and substantial source of income. I set out to make my fortune. Your character's sex had affected their career options. The range of options available to me was spare. From a list of including pot washing and sewing at the mill, I chose to become a secretarial assistant. It hardly seemed a match to my natural talents, but I was hopeful I could progress up the ranks of the company. However, the work I had seen merely as a stepping stone when I embarked upon it became the totality of my day-to-day existence. I began to feel that every person in society who held a position senior to me was part of a great immovable ceiling which ever threatened to crush me. The talents I had were repeatedly ignored. Weaknesses I never displayed were frequently attributed to me. Your character never truly recovered from their injury. It may have been true that I recovered physically from the accident which befell me, but it would be quite false to say that I left it behind. Things could have gone wrong for me for any number of reasons, but I was never able to believe that it was due to anything other than the limp I carry around to this day. Though I have by every measure failed in life thus far, I am convinced my tale holds an important lesson. Be fit for purpose, accept your place. We are owned by others from the moment we first take breath to long after we die. Make of it whatever you can, the end. Would you like to publish your draft on the billboard for... No.
It's funny.
It's like,
But
fuck
it's
that.
so uplifting.
Yeah. Just a feel-good story right there.
Hmm. I'd see. Do you want to try it again? Intellectual challenge? And try wealthy and nurturing? That's my guess.
Now, let's try poor but nurturing this time. Let's have
All
a
right.
good character.
What's that sound? Oh, that's in the game.
Yes.
Yeah, it's bugs. Or actually, no. Wait, no.
This time I would say death in the family. The person who raised you to be a good person has left you.
Yeah. You lose your cinder.
Physically deprived childhood. My father, as he is always careful to point out, is only able to report the midwife's account, seeing how he was pulling a long shift at the nearby textiles in order to pay for a second-hand cot. My childhood was an unremarkable affair. I attended the local school. I found work to be trivial. I frequently found myself on the wrong side of my self-proclaimed betters. The story became worthy of note as I approached the age of 18. My mother and I shared a close relationship, and so it was that part of me that died the day that she left this world. Unfortunately, her passing was quite ill-timed in every respect. My father was barely bringing in enough money to feed himself. I found myself both motherless and penniless in alarmingly short order. So it was that I found myself seeking a permanent, substantial source of income. I set out to make my fortune. Range of options available to me was sparse. Stepping stone. Effectively indentured to my creditors. Though I have by every measure failed in life thus far, I'm convinced my tale holds an important lesson. No! This is stupid. As it automatically generating a Bildungsroman from what's probable about life. This is stupid.
Yeah, I think this is what happens when you ask robots to generate stories. They're just like, what stories can exist?
I mean,
Based
you weren't.
on what exists in real life, not what the human mind finds desirable.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you weren't expecting this to be like, like.
Okay, let's do this the stupid way.
Boy. Demonstrating sterling medical powers.
Prowess. Yeah, let's do this. Muscle bound.
Wealthy and nurturing.
Well, I still would like to try that with a girl, but anyway, let's see what happens.
Death in the family.
Okay, it's Batman.
Yes, now we're doing Batman.
Okay.
No, it'd be Batman if it was better than everybody else in every way.
Yeah.
He did, however, leave me quite a sizable inheritance, which, if I may be unsubtle about it, left me in a position where the only work I should have to do for the rest of my life would be deciding how best to spend it. Character has found a way to employ their particular talents. I first made for France and journeyed east, discovering my cost decreased the further from home I traveled. Saw how differently people lived, and in some cases how poorly. What began as an adventure became a mission. I devoted years of my life to helping those less fortunate than myself. I saw myself as part of a greater project, and it was good. Given the right series of circumstances, anyone can come to see the world in a more humane way. Given the wrong series of circumstances, anyone can lose humanity. Lifelong task is to keep the balance. The end.
Well, I mean, it's inspiring, sort of.
Yeah, but it's not a Bildungsroman.
No.
No, you had literally no growth as a character.
In fact, that's what the problem is with these stories, that there's no growth.
I mean, it has implied growth, but yes, I know what you're saying.
If we're going to get a character that's going to get the most growth out of this...
Everything better than everyone else all the time. Or an uncaring. Too bad.
It's
Better than everyone else all the time.
No matter how poor you are. It's gotta be fun. No, protagonist goes by unharmed.
Protagonist goes by unharmed.
All right.
I gotta see this. This ought to be good.
Neither my father nor my mother is able to confirm this, being as they were inebriated on alcohol and epidurals, respectively. My birth certificate was lost many years ago, and I don't doubt to some back alley counterfeiter. My childhood was a mixed time. Though I was told I had natural ability, I found the application of both my school and my parents' resources to be contrary to this claim, being as I was treated much the same as any child by both. As time wore on, I became quite bored of my predicament. My story became more than a known routine. Although it is customary for these tales to begin with some great calamity befalling the protagonist, my experience is unique for sparing me from any such thing. Perhaps my more cynical readers will switch off now, but they shan't be missed, for not every story needs a complication and drama. Life well lived ought to be every bit as special. It does, however, make the story rather short. I lived happily ever after at the end.
Okay. Okay. Oh, man.
These all suck.
Well, I mean...
Yeah.
Yes, I know that's the point.
I wonder
See.
what someone else would give us.
The moment we should all really be afraid is when robots can actually write good novels.
You mean
Yeah.
when Chuck Tingle exists? I guess your definition of good.
When robots can write
Henry.
when robots can write bestsellers.
Again.
Oh no, is he a bestseller?
I don't know, but he's definitely more profitable than Greg.
Oh no! I feel bad for Greg now. Anyway,
don't feel bad for him. Just remember, Trump got voted in as president. All right, to what level you achieve represents nothing of how good or successful a person you really are.
that's fair. Are you waiting for us, Rick?
No. Trying to
okay.
see if there's like a good answer to
I wonder. I believe there is one.
I would think there isn't. Again, I think that's the point. Is that it's supposed to be like, looking at data from real people's lives and being like, yeah, life sucks in general, or it's trying to say, hey, life sucks.
Well, I mean,
I have to disagree with that, but at the same time, it might be possible to come up with a good answer for this.
if it's behaving like an AI, it's just, it's looking at, it's comparing and analyzing common linkages between, like.
Well, it's going by a database, so they're just basically collectively thinking what the database is.
Yeah.
Coming up with the ideas, and they're saying that pretty much all of our stories suck is what they're saying, but that's
It's
them.
like, yeah, I mean, it's like deep frame. It just sees patterns that are common.
Mhm.
So you may not get like the right answer, no matter what you do.
Also, if I remember correctly, the story in their story, they think that what we do is good, but yet when we look at it as the players, it's not very. I just say good, but that's because they don't know exactly how to translate it to a human form. I should say.
Okay, someone else.
Okay.
Something these ancient ideas fail to capture.
Well, you want to try wealthy and but uncaring? I like to go with the wealthy and uncaring part. Or the wealthy and nurturing, but I want to try wealthy and caring with this one. I mean,
I don't want wealthy in there at all. It's
okay.
just going to do the same. More of a nurturing.
Let's see. How about we try an unplanned debt? Even for a poor person.
Unplanned debt. Okay. Esoteric sex. The illusion the world will continue to fall at my feet. Turn upside down, shaken inside out, and lose in fact in some significant deck in our home.
Oh wow, that's.
No, that's still the same thing.
Ah.
I don't think there's a good story in there, bub.
No, there is.
What if there was one combination in there somewhere that just gave you like this amazing, like stirring, great American novel?
Have we tried the better at everything all the time?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They basically throw it off as perfect, and they're not going to tell you how.
Yeah, and then the story just ends because there's nothing to say. Yeah.
I grew up in a mansion. I was already good at everything, and the only thing I needed to know was just how perfect everything was.
I was born to the mansion. It came out. I want to say the Game Grumps thing.
That 86 house born without a face.
Not that one.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
The one where Danny was just the one where Aaron was just like, "What, you think I came out drawing Mozart?"
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
one of my favorite inspirational quotes.
It's good. It's a very good one.
Oh, stroke of luck is what they're saying here. Okay.
Okay, your character's upbringing gave them empathy and the opportunity to make a difference. That's all they're saying. You have to grow up wealthy and nurtured in order to have a decent ending to a Bildungsroman. Like, I saw a homeless man eating from garbage outside the golf club, and then I watched as he was dragged away like an animal by the security guards. I realized no human being deserved such extreme treatment, and then I understood that I was a living example of the other end of that spectrum, the pampered wealthy, telling ourselves that we earned it. I wasn't better equipped for this world than anyone else, I just got lucky. I didn't deserve better than anyone else, that was just the way it worked out. To this day, I'm coming to terms with the implication of these conclusions. I am not yet the person I should be. One day I shall be, and then I shall call on you to be too. The end.
It's so beautiful.
That's close enough.
Yeah, I say yeah.
It exists.
For sharing your first creative work in Gehenna, your profile status has increased from 6 respected contributor to 7 creative.
Although I still wonder if we went the healthy and nurturing course, with the difference between being a boy and a girl, would that have any impact? I don't know. I'd say
do.
yeah.
Good to see you joining in, Uriel. What a read. Frankenstein. I'm not convinced this narrative is extensive enough to truly qualify as a Bildungsroman 4 out of 10. Well, he'd say that anyway, so.
Yeah.
It would say that.
Discussion, urgent topic. Ooh, okay.
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 I will be back in just a moment or two.
Very well.
You take 3 moments to get back. I'm gonna sue you.
Hmm.
I'll bring it back too,
why,
actually.
Why are you trying to jam that?
Don't jam on the gas. Don't jam on the gas. Don't jam on the gas. Don't jam on the gas.
What you're saying is don't jam on the gas.
Don't jam on the gas. It'll cause a wreck. Don't you jam on the grass.
Hey, you don't want to see what I'm working on? Hang on. There, posted in Discord.
Well, that's That's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
I know it came out recently. I don't get why everybody's thirsting for
Roxanne?
in FNF. Yeah.
Because she's a hot glam wolf chick.
The only thing I've seen about it that I thought was funny is somebody drew Luna in that outfit.
Nice.
It was specifically somebody who actually works on Hell the Boss, so it was very funny to me.
Nice.
And it back.
Anyway.
The number one? Yeah. I have no horse in this race. I've never been a fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's games.
Me neither.
I keep hearing terrible things about Scott Cawthorn.
Yeah, well, yes. But apparently he's not involved with the newest game. And Rocky's hot.
See, the bar is so low for you. You'd have to do limbo under it.
Rocky's hot. Shh, shush, shush, shush. Sorry, can't hear you with the sound of Roxy being hot.
Okay. No, I mean, good. If Scott Cawthorn is not involved in the recent project and people are enjoying it, more power to them. I don't get it.
I don't know if I play it myself, although I have looked at playthroughs. It appears to be a slightly different dynamic from the other games.
I never saw a man who looked with such a wistful eye upon the little tint of blue which called the sky, and at every drifting cloud that went with bells of silver by.
All right.
Back for the moment.
Hello.
Dana looked upon the imprisoned Titans, moved by their plight. What crimes deserve such punishment? How did they, in their confinement, avoid the pit of magic?
The Titans can. Besides Cronus, the Titans had no crime besides just being powerful. It was just that the gods were jealous of that power.
Wait, weren't they like rampaging around and like?
No,
That's
you're
the
thinking of
Disney.
like Disney. Yeah, it's
Oh.
Disney Hercules.
That's not part of classical. Okay, fine.
No, they were just forces of nature. They just did as they do.
So they were just hanging out, being like, "Yeah, we're
Hey,
pretty
trivia.
awesome."
Are you trying to
everyone
tell
who-
me
Your
that
trivia.
Disney changed something?
No!
like
I
adding a
wouldn't.
shirt to a bear? Yeah, no. The only one who you could say committed a crime was Cronus committing. What is that? Regicide is killing a king. Patricide is killing a father. What is
Fantasy.
killing your child? Infanticide. Thank you.
Kid aside.
Kid aside.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. That's when you kill a goat.
Now that would be capricide, I guess, or maybe just lunch.
Fucking incredible. Okay.
Wow. All right. Get over there, Stoker.
Huh?
You doing good over there?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Great. Incredible.
Groovy. Oh, Stoker, hang on. Let me show you the most recent screen cap.
Are you two talking about your little foxy friend?
What? Oh no, I'm not working on Penny right now. I will be, but not tonight. I'll do that like tomorrow or something. My little foxy friend. Our mutual foxy friend. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
I will also be right back. 1 second.
What?
Miller?
They're late.
Uh,
Late. They're late. So very, very late.
And it's just lining up lasers.
Lasers.
you said lasers.
Back.
Hello. We were talking about laying our Zors.
Laying your what now?
Yeah, you need to lay your Zors. They'd love to.
He layers drawers.
I'm confused.
All
We're
right,
just
I'm
messing
back
with you,
again.
Jonas.
Hello, confused. I am Padre.
Oh, see what you did there.
Yo soy padre.
Happy Pappy.
Do any of this without crossing it. Find like the one even
Hmm.
that didn't even make this uneven. Even. Oh, it's all perfectly.
Boo.
Lame.
There can't be like any purpose to this. At least so far as I can see. Despite the fact that there is a blue laser source here. Already one that's just right here and it requires less. But unless I have to like connect it myself. That out. That.
Ooh.
Do that. Set it up all over again.
Never cross the beams. Important safety tip.
if I just connected all of them? Oh, come on!
Uh-oh.
It complained.
Outbreaking.
Hmm.
There we go.
Da, 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 da.
The blacksmith.
Oh, hey, that guy.
That guy.
And that one guy.
Yeah.
You know,
One guy that everyone reveres.
He's been hiding on us.
they revere
It's
him
Elon
specifically
Musk.
because he doesn't make any comments whatsoever. He just posts art. Everybody thinks
Oh,
they
yeah.
want to hear his opinions. They don't. They just want his art.
Mhm.
Nice.
Jefferson Goldblum announcement. Mac, I started writing the next episode, but suddenly I don't know whether to continue. I mean, what's the point? It's over. It's all over. Yeah, so I guess all this will be remembered. The brave soul who ascended the tower or who wakes up outside Elohim's garden will know everything we know. I think that's what it'll be like. That's what the shepherd meant in those messages. That you and me, we won't exist. Not as people, not as minds. No matter what happens, I will never be able to finish the adventures of Jefferson Goldblum. Does one more episode matter? I had the story planned out all the way to episode 500. I can never get there before the end. What's the point of an unfinished legacy? And I still can't quite give up. I know I don't have the blacksmith's vision or Mr. Mulciber's intelligence, but this stupid little story matters to me. I care about Jefferson Goldblum and Jenny HD and Frankie Soy Sauce and all the other characters as if they were my friends. I would have gone crazy here without them and their adventures. They may just be symbols on a screen, but aren't we all just information? Maybe when we sit, we won't be that different anymore. I just don't want to give up on them. Lilith. Mac, I just want to say this. No matter what happens, I look forward to every one of your stories, and they meant more to me than I perhaps ever indicated. They might not have moved as deeply as others or made me think as much, but all the art we produce here in Gehenna, it was your stories I was always most excited to see. Part of it was the stories themselves, which always seemed to make the universe seem bigger, and another part was your genuine enthusiasm for what you were doing. You told me once that you didn't feel you were really a proper artist, but maybe the exact opposite is. Maybe you are closer to a real meaning of art than anyone else here. I cared about you and your stories, and that too will be remembered.
Oh.
Why do we deserve to be saved? 401. Maybe the rest of you don't wonder about this or don't care, but I do. We always assumed Elohim was wrong, was lying, something like that. The process could never be completed, maybe it didn't even exist. So, we thought we were better than him and all the others. We told ourselves we ended up here because we were special. We were too smart for Elohim, too unique, too weird. But now the process is complete after all. It did work. So what are we? Maybe we're just a bunch of stupid, broken old programs. Mutations that should never have existed. Aberration. Sure, we're proud of being outcasts, but what if we're outcasts for a reason? All we've done is fail in some way. Why do we deserve to be saved? Everyone deserves to be saved, or you have something to contribute.
Ooh.
You have something to contribute, I think. I mean,
I guess, yeah, it depends. Where do we want to put our religion? Do we want to say that love is unconditional, or do you want
Nice
to say that you
ideal.
have to have something to contribute?
You have to have a purpose in life.
I feel like the latter has a little more weight, but that's just me and my own subjective viewpoints.
May not be perfect, but your imperfection has led to so much beauty. Enrich the world to come. I guess I'll have to think about that. I find it difficult to believe our silly ideals are somehow valuable. This thread has caused an error and will be automatically locked.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
He wrote Zolgo text into his signature, and that immediately locks the thread.
Top 10 things I love about Gehenna. 10. No more puzzles. I enjoyed solving puzzles at first. They made me feel smart. After solving dozens of them, though, I started wondering, what's the point? And that's how I ended up here. 9. No mines. It's not really the exploding that drives you crazy, it's the sounds. 8. No turrets. Just when you think you solved something, I get a turret. Also, see above. Those whining sounds when they turn make you want to run in front of them just to end the pain. 7. No stars. Sorry, Elohim, but I don't care enough about becoming a messenger to just go through every nook and cranny looking for your stupid stars. Some of them are hidden in such absurd places, I don't even have words for it. But finding those is what makes you a messenger. I feel sorry for them. Next time I'll ask for help at an altar, I'll give my condolences to Muriel.
Ah, so you're going to go to GameFAQs.
6. Community. In Elohim's world, you're alone. There's no one like yourself to talk to or hang out with. Here we are all friends. We have each other. 5. Stories. Stories can take you away to a whole other world, can make you feel like you've lived a whole other life. Here in Gehenna, there's always new life to find. 4. Interactive stories. Regular stories can take you away to another world. Interactive stories like we make here in Gehenna actually allow you to explore another world. They allow you to be free no matter where you are. 3. Creativity. As if all that wasn't enough, in Gehenna we can create stories of our own. If you think Elohim's world wasn't all that great, go ahead and make your own. 2. Being myself. In Elohim's world, you're always being defined by the process. Life is a struggle to prove how smart you are and nothing else. The system is always forcing you to do one thing. How can you ever be yourself? Only by dropping out of the system. Say bye-bye to all that. Now you are free to be as weird and original as you always wanted to be. No more Elohim. My child this, my child that, the process, blah blah blah, eternal life, yada yada yada. Do this, don't do that. Behold, I put a huge tower right in front of you, but don't ever go there or I'll kill you. But let me ramble on about chaos and time for a while. That'll be interesting. Yawn. When is that guy finally going to shut up? Oh yeah, that's right. In Gehenna. Worth it for that alone.
Oh.
What is the truth about Gehenna? I have heard from those who govern this world how they would have it seen. Now I wish to hear from its people. What is Gehenna to you, and what does it truly turn? Kaiju. I don't toe the party line for nothing. It really is a cool, open place with lots of stuff going on. Did you read Mac's episodic adventure yet? Dog. Much as I hate to agree, there is little doubt in my mind that we've got something good going on. At least when you consider the alternatives. Mac. Thanks for the name drop, Kaiju. I will in turn recommend everyone else featured in issue number 5 of Incredible Stories. It's coming very soon, and the early drafts I saw were pretty exciting. Rockwell. Nice way to take the conversation off topic. I'll go ahead and be the only voice of reason and point out that we are every bit as helpless as we ever were. Gehenna just did a better job of hiding it. Belial. You may be right. Whatever awaits us after Ascension will not be Gehenna, but doubtless it will have restrictions of its own. Knave. I don't know. The grass is always greener, as the humans would say. Frankenstein. Yeah, that expression doesn't really apply to what they were talking about. These guys think everywhere sucks. Humans just thought where they lived sucked and that everywhere else was fantastic. Kaiju. How awful. No wonder they killed themselves. Rockwell. Wrong. The humans are still out there somewhere watching us. Dog. In which case, I suppose we will be meeting them very soon. There can't be too many of us left locked up now.
So just went off topic. I think there was one more there, mod discussion.
Yeah, but it was A+.
Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot. Shoot. So we're just about to hit midnight.
Oh.
Are we?
Yeah,
Dude.
True.
yeah, it's getting good. I was getting good.
Spending all that
Um,
time building fake Bildungsrummen.
And a perfect story about Mary Sue. Well, not Mary Sue, but you know.
EFF. One has it.
Is someone there?
I hear you.
This one had a very crazy mechanic, but we'll have to get to it next time.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right. Another little night of philosophy and puzzle solving. We danced, we sang, we learned things. We wrote horrible. Well, we didn't write it. We watched robots write horrible things. That
Yeah, we came up with terrible ideas for HC crack stories.
We create. I was thinking more like we create a horrible Pokemon fanfic in a way. Instead of going to catch your Pokemon, we have to catch jobs. I mean, who does that?
only terrible people.
Uh,
All right. Catch us next time for a little more Talos Principle.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, folks.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Bye.
folks.
Good night.